Guys, thanks so much for clicking on my channel. We're all smiles over here. I am Will Sanja, like asking the question, will Sanja help you keep your smile for today? And hopefully the answer is yes. You guys, I'm gonna try not to keep it long, but y'all already know if it gets good, I'm gonna keep on talking. The goal of next today is military stress, or you don't want that on your plate. Go home with a clean slate. What am I talking about? Now, I know it's kind of stressful for us civilians, but I'm quite sure it's even more stressful for you guys over there in the military. I woke up this morning thinking about you guys, so I figured, okay, God, I guess you want me to encourage the military today, and that's exactly what I'm gonna do. Listen, I know you're missing your families, your wives, your husbands, your children, just home, period. I know you're doing it, and sometimes that can get so stressful. You can get angry, distraught, despair, and you just feel in a certain kind of way. And I want to remind you guys to get and stay aligned and connected. Why? Because that's going to help you to keep your mental on point. Why? Because when you are aligned and connected, it just means what? God is at the forefront of your life, moving in and through you, that you're able to see within your journey with some clarity. And that clarity is going to help you to what? To think positive, think possible, and do the right thing. Why? Because right now, some of you guys are tempted. You've been tempted over there to move forward in something that you know you shouldn't do. And I'm just here to tell you that thrill is not worth the bill. Not to mention, if you move forward in that thing that's tempting you right now, whatever it may be, you don't want that on your plate. You don't. Why? Because it's going to cause more stress. And you know what stress does? Stress causes a whole lot of other stuff like illnesses and some other things. And not to mention, when you do go home, you don't want to be at home going, oh, is they gonna find out what I was doing? I was away from home. You don't want that. You don't want that on your plate. Go home with a clean what? Slate. You don't want that on your plate. Go home with a clean what? Slate. Remember that slogan. Remember that. What is it again? You don't want that on your plate. Go home with a clean slate. Shucks, just for anybody watching, if you're being tempted to do something that you know you shouldn't do. Listen. Get and stay aligned and connected. That means your mental is on point. Because guess what? If your mental isn't on point, it doesn't matter how many muscles you have. It doesn't matter how much firepower you have. It doesn't matter how many strategies you have. If your mental is not on point, then none of that will add up to a hill of beans. It won't be any good use to you. Why? Because your mental is not on point. Get and stay aligned and connected. And know that God is working things out for you. God knows that you're a little stressed over there. But God knows that He's going to make sure that everything pans out just right for you. Some of you guys think that your families don't truly understand. And you kind of right. They don't understand to the extent that way you do as far as what's going on where you are. But they understand enough to know that they love you and that they support you. And let me say this. Those of you who are at home while your husband and your wife and your family members are away, when they come back home, make sure you give them back their ranks. I'm talking from experience. My husband was not in the military, but he used to travel a whole lot, especially when my kids were younger. And when he would travel a lot, you guys, I would stand in his space as far as doing the things that he would normally do if he was home. And I had to learn. I didn't get it quite quickly, okay? But when he would come home, I was still trying to hold on to his ranks. I was still trying to be in his role while he was at home, and we would end up with button heads. And then I had to realize, girl, this don't belong to you. It's his role. Give it back to him. Same thing for the ladies. Guys, those of you who have wives who are, in the military, when they come home, give them back their roles. Ladies, when your husband come home, give them back their roles. Because that's what they're supposed to get. I know it. I know you ain't got comfortable in it, but give it back to them. And show them the love and respect, not just what they need, but what they want. And I'm speaking from experience. Y'all, we understand. We do. We appreciate you guys. We really do. We know that you are doing things that we can fathom of what you're doing as far as the things that you have to witness and see. We just want to let you know that we got your back. We're wishing you the best, and we're wishing your families the best. And if you just get and stay aligned and connected, God is going to make sure that everything pans out just right for you. And guess what? It's okay if you don't know how it's going to come together for you. just know that God is going to make sure that it does. Let God do what he does best and trust him. Stay aligned and connected. Don't be so stressed out. Keep your mental together. Thinking positive, thinking possible, and knowing that God got you and that we're rooting for you and that we really do truly appreciate you. We don't just think about you when it's time to recognize you on certain holidays. No, we think about you a lot. And today, this morning, I woke up with you on my mind. And I want to let you know that it's going to work out for you. Just keep doing the right thing, because if you keep doing the right things, God will make sure to continue doing the right things by you. And those of you who are retired now, you may be feeling, I don't fit in. I don't fit in. And you're feeling a little distraught, a little despair, what have you. Listen, you do fit in. The thing is, you're trying to fit into a space where God hasn't claimed for you. Get and stay aligned and connected and ask God, God, where do I fit in? Where do you want me? And if you're listening with your spiritual ears and looking with your spiritual eyes and sensing with your spirit, then God will show you where you belong. And you'll see, oh, I do fit in. I fit in where God has placed me. Because when you do get out of the military, if you've been gone from home a long time, you try to come back and fit in with the society, and you may just find that, this ain't working. God knows exactly where you're supposed to be. And just make sure you stay synced up with him so that you can get the message of where you're supposed to be. We appreciate you guys again. I'm going to try not to, I'm almost at 7 minutes, but I hope y'all did get it. We appreciate you. We love you. We thank you for doing what you do best as far as serving the country and protecting us, putting your life at risk. We don't understand to the extent of what's going on, but we are wishing you the best. Stay strong. Remember the slogan, you don't want that on your wet plate. Go home with a clean, wet slate. Yes, because you want to be able to sleep at night, right? You get me? That temptation is not worth it. That cheap thrill ain't worth the bill. Did you hear me? It's not worth the bill. Whatever the thrill is, it ain't worth the bill, because that bill comes. That's a real high bill. You don't want that bill is worse than student loans. Oh, you listen. That bill is worse than a bill from the hospital when you give birth. That bill is worse than a Bentley bill, than a Rolls Royce Wraith bill. That's a high bill you don't want to pay for, okay? You don't want that on your plate. Go home with a clean slate. We appreciate you. Y'all be blessed. Y'all stay blessed. If you didn't get anything that I was saying, rewind this thing and watch again. But in the meantime, between time, if you could take just a little bit of what I'm telling you and apply to your life to the best of your ability, you won't ever have to mask a smile. Why? Because your smiles will always be genuine. I'll talk to y'all soon. Be blessed, stay blessed. Be blessed, stay blessed. Be blessed, stay blessed. Y'all know what's coming next. Ciao.